Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Favi, and welcome to Arrows DIY. On my channel, I like to do Dollar Tree DIYs, high-end dupes, thrift flips, and the occasional trash to treasure. Today I'm here to show you 5 Thanksgiving tiered tray decor ideas for your home. If this is something you like, you might want to consider subscribing. I love making unique DIYs, always on a budget. These DIYs are super simple and they're made from Dollar Tree items. So I hope you enjoy, and if you do, please hit that thumbs up button. It really helps my channel to grow. All right, let's get started. For DIY number 1, I'm going to be using this breadboard. I was super surprised when I found something I actually wanted at my Dollar Tree. So I grabbed them up. So we're just going to take these as well as these window clings from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to be using a couple of these words. I'm also going to use this pumpkin that I got at the Dollar Tree, the small one, and I'm going to pull off the gourd. I'm going to use this gourd as the head of the turkey. So I'm just going to hot glue it in this position like so. And I'm just going to show you so that you see the direction on which to hot glue this to the breadboard. I use Gorilla hot glue, by the way, if you are curious. And once that's adhered, I just paint the entire thing in this chalk paint called Adirondack white. I'm sure I butchered that. Apologies. Alright, so once the thing is painted white, we're going to let that dry. And then we're going to use this window cling. Now you do want to be sure to get into all the nooks and crannies because tiered tray decor should look good on all angles, in my opinion. Now we're going to take the little berry pick, I guess you can call it, and we're going to cut that, and we're going to make it a little smaller. That way it could serve as the little gobble. I don't know what that's called. I should have looked that up before I made this video. You know, the little dangly gobble thing that hangs off the turkey. Anyways, that's where I'm gonna hot glue it, right there. And I like the texture it gives because you know how turkeys are kind of lumpy and kind of like pimply, so I thought it worked. Anyways, once that was done, we move on to the twine. I'm going to take a little piece of twine about 1 centimeter in length, and I'm just gonna hot glue that over on itself 5 times. So I didn't speed up this part just so you can see that I'm adding the hot glue carefully on that wherever the 2 twine pieces meet, and I just overlap it on itself until it's, you know, thick enough to be the turkey's beak. So once that's all done, we're going to go ahead and cut that off, and we're going to hot glue it to the turkey. Now, I think this is too long, so that's the size that I made it originally, but I do recommend cutting it in half. But it's good to make it this size because we don't want to burn ourselves when we're making it. But basically I made a woodpecker, so once I cut it down it looks more like a turkey. Now we're going to take this gobble gobble cling and we're going to Mod Podge it to this middle portion right here. So I add a good amount of Mod Podge. I'm using the gloss finish for all of these projects. I wanted it to be a little shiny. However, if you don't like shiny on your projects, you might want to consider using the Mod Podge matte finish. I'm also using my little Mod Podge squeegee that Plaid sent me. But if you don't have that, now if you don't have, you can use a credit card and just lightly slide it on top if you don't have a squeegee. Now I just made some dents. I pushed in the top of the foam gourd so that we could make little creases, I can't find the word right now, but basically little spots where we would put the eyes of the turkey. Now once I pushed that in, I painted over it because, you know, it's foam, so the paint cracked a little bit. But once you add a little paint, everything's all good. So now I'm taking the same floral arrangement that was on top of the pumpkin that we got the gourd from, and I'm just going to cut all of the florals in half, and we're just going to arrange them around the top there to act as the decorative tail of the turkey. So I'm just showing you how I arranged it. Now you could arrange it any way you want to, and if you want to give it more of a farmhouse look and you don't want to go for the florals, you can definitely use this wheat. See this little wheat pick? I think that would make a really interesting tail as well. It's just I didn't have enough on hand in my stash, but that would look good as well. So I just took my little wheat and I hot glued it along the bottom there, and I'm just going to show you. I did the same thing to one side as I did for the other side. I don't show you everything I do because I do appreciate your time, but I do the exact same thing on the other side as well. Now I'm going to take some twine and I'm going to make a finger bow. I'm going to show you one time how I make it, and then all the other times I will just speed through it. So what I do is I take some twine and I kind of wrap it around my 2 fingers in an S formation 5 times, and then I take the first strand and I hot glue it 2 times over the center of my 2 fingers. And that's just the easy way that I do it. I mean, it's probably not the correct way, but it gets the job done. And no one is getting this close to my tier tray to notice that it is not a knot. Anyways, yeah, so once that's done, I just made sure the little tails are on the same end, and then I'm going to hot glue it right there once I hot glue the other wheat pick to that side. That's the plan. So then, of course, if you're new to my channel, you wouldn't know that I like to add to my projects, and I never stop. So I just added a little bit of a green grass detail there to accentuate the neck of this beautiful turkey. And now I flipped it over and I want to make this 2-sided. So I'm just going to paint the back just really roughly, you know, wishy-washy, as my friend Kathy likes to call it, from Crafty Kathy. Wishy-washy paint job in the back, and then I'm going to Mod Podge the word home from that window cling. Okay, so now I'm going to just use the back of my paintbrush and some apple barrel black paint to make some eyeballs. And this is the part where I give my turkey a nose job, a beak job. So I cut it in half, and then it looks more like a turkey, and there he is in all his glory, ready for his close-up. Now this video is part of the Minis Challenge hosted by Corie over at Crafted by Corie, and this is a monthly challenge. Corie is very talented. She does Dollar Tree DIYs and thrift hauls, so I will leave her link and the playlist link in the description box below and in my comment box if you want to check that out. I recommend it. Now for DIY number 2, I'm going to use this hexagon wood shape. And I'm going to use my ruler and I'm just going to divide it into 6 sections. Yes, I'm going to make some pumpkin pie. I don't know about you, but I love pumpkin pie. I know there's some people who don't like it, like my husband. He prefers the apple to the pumpkin, but you know, I don't know. It's just something about apple pie and Thanksgiving. It just gets me really excited. Anyways, back to the DIY. I take some of this orange paint and I mix it. The orange paint is called Vivid Orange by Folk Art, and I mix it with a little bit of apple barrel chocolate sprinkle. And I think it gave me the perfect pumpkin color. You can also use pumpkin by Waverly if you have that on hand. I don't have, so I'm just using what I have on hand. So I give it 2 coats, and I also paint the sides as well. Once everything's nice and painted and dry, I'm going to go ahead and use this cling. Sorry. Once that's painted and dry, I flipped it over and I painted the other side white. Now I'm going to use this window cling and I'm going to sandpaper the glitter off. It had like this hideous red glitter. Now I don't hate glitter, but I just don't think it just wasn't the vibe I was going for this Thanksgiving tray. So once I got it all scratched off, it got kind of faded, but I didn't mind it. I go over it in black paint later on, as you'll see. So now, as I said, I painted the other side completely white in that white Adirondack color. I really hope I'm saying it right. If I'm not, please let me know in the comments below. And I will Mod Podge this window cling using my little fancy squeegee. Once again, I love that thing. And I get all the air bubbles out, get it nice and flat, and then I'm going to Mod Podge right over it. So once that's nice and sealed and dry, something went wrong. I'm not sure if I grabbed the wrong paintbrush or if my paint wasn't fully dry. A combination of the two. It gets a little faded later. I don't mind it, but be careful when you do this so the same thing doesn't happen to you. So now I'm going to take some twine and I'm going to hot glue it over those lines we originally made at the beginning. You can still see them. It's just on camera you can't see them that well, but I can see them very well in person. So I'm just going to go over those with the twine and I'm going to divide all the sections. I go across the first one with the full length, and then the other ones I just went from the midpoint to the outer edge. So once that was all secured with hot glue, I took this mesh tube from the Dollar Tree and I thought it would make a nice crust for our pumpkin pie. Now I understand you could also add some of that caulking from the Dollar Tree and add some whipped cream on top, and that would look super cute. However, I could not find any caulking at my Dollar Tree, and yeah, I could use hot glue as well, but I didn't want to. You guys feel free to add whatever you want. I gave you 2 ideas. The caulking works really well. I've seen others use that, as well as hot glue if you have like the white glue sticks. The fabric sticks are white. I don't know. You might want to experiment with that. Anyways, back to my DIY. Boy, do I talk a lot. Okay, so now I'm going to take some antiquing wax and I'm just going to distress the top. And I do that in a crisscross formation to kind of make it look like a linen pattern. So it's more like a crusty effect. And then I distress the back as well and the sides. And that's it. I mean, I think it's cute. I do go around one more time with the mesh tubing, but I do not put the mesh tubing on the bottom so that it will lay flat on the tier tray. You've got to let me know what you think about this DIY because I love pumpkin pie. What is your favorite dessert for Thanksgiving? Let me know. Are you an apple pie fan? Are you a cherry pie? Which one what's your favorite Thanksgiving dessert? Or food, actually. I'm such a foodie. I can talk about food all day. So let me know, what is your go-to Thanksgiving recipe? And I will be so grateful. All right, so now I'm going to make the same finger bow that I made before. And I'm going to put that right on top of the pumpkin pie. And once that's done, I'm pretty sure I'm done with this DIY at this point. Unless I add something else. No, I'm pretty sure I'm done. Oh my goodness. I forgot the letters. Okay, so now I fill in the letters. I use a fine point Sharpie that I got at the Dollar Tree for the small letters on top. And for the larger letters, I use my embossing tool with some black paint. And you just want to tap it into your paint. Not too much. You want to tap the tip of it only. And then you want to use it as if you would a pen. Just go back and forth, back and forth. And if you see that when you use it, it takes off some of your paint, try going in the opposite direction. And I've seen that to work very well for me. And I really like using my embossing tool for this trick. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. All right, now we're on number 3. This is a plate that I got from the Dollar Tree, the Bubbles. It's from the Bubbles toy for kids. It comes with a whole little bunch of little pieces and like a blowing toy and like a whole bunch of tray. Anyways, this is the tray for the summer toy. So I took it, I put a nice coat of Mod Podge on there, and now I'm painting it with Castle from Folk Art. It's like a light gray color. Now I'm going to use this word from this window cling. It says, I am so stuffed, but I just want the word stuffed. So I'm going to go ahead, and the background of that window cling is a little bit white. So I do paint the background of my plate. I'm just measuring it with the width of the actual window cling so that I know how much to paint. And then whatever excess paint I have on my paintbrush, I'm distressing all around the edges of the plate. There is no specific shape. I'm just going around. That way it has kind of that distressed look. So once I finish measuring it about a bajillion times, I'm going to go ahead, cut it down to size, and Mod Podge it on. And I do leave that gray line on there. The gray border that the window cling came with, I kept that there because I felt like it gave it structure. I don't know. Maybe I make no sense, but that's what I did. And I like how it came out. So once the paint was semi-dry, you want to wait for your paint to get very dry. But I didn't. So I am going to Mod Podge it, and then I'm going to put the window cling on top, and then I'm going to use my squeegee once again. And then I'm going to Mod Podge on top once again. Now I do the same thing for every single window cling. However, I have really cool DIYs coming up, so don't leave just yet. And I do appreciate your time, so thank you for being here. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Patty. I'm a mother of 5. I DIY on my spare time. I love making budget-friendly decor, different, unique decor, fun decor for my home without breaking the bank. So on to the next DIY. For DIY number 4, I'm using this kids plastic toy set. That's why I'm using all these toys. I have so many toys in my house. Might as well, right? No, I just think this plate is really cute and it's the perfect size for your tier tray. So I'm going to go ahead. I Mod Podge this off camera. I always Mod Podge the plastic first to help the paint stick. And then once I Mod Podge that, and the little spoon as well, I paint everything white. So now I'm taking the other side of the I Am So Stuffed window cling, the little turkey that says yum. I'm going to cut out the turkey and I'm going to Mod Podge it to the plate. Because it's super cute. I think this turkey is super cute. I mean, Dollar Tree did a good job on their window clings this year. I think they're so cute. And I did not find these window clings at my Dollar Tree. I had to go. I went on a family trip. Actually, we went camping and there was a Dollar Tree around there. So I actually stopped at that Dollar Tree and that's where I found all this stuff. It was like 2 hours from my house. So that's what it looks like once it's all Mod Podged. Now, the other plate, I wanted it to match. So I was only taking the words from the window cling that are orange, just so it matches my color scheme. So I took this one here and I cut out the words time to eat. Oh wait, sorry, time to. And I'm just gonna, I don't even want to call it fussy cut because there's nothing fussy about me. I'm just going to Mod Podge it onto the plate. The little leaf as well. I put that under and that's how it looks. And I also sealed both of them with Mod Podge on top as well. Now once that's all done, I go ahead and I paint this little spoon in black. I painted it white first because I wasn't sure if I was going to paint it silver, but I ended up going with the colors of this tray. The words on the original DIY, the first turkey, had black on them, and I thought that black would pop better on the plate. Anyways, let me know what color would you have made your spoon. Now I'm taking this Jenga block and I'm going to paint it in the same castle color just so all of our DIYs kind of flow together. And I cut out the word please from another window cling and I'm just going to write the word please on this Jenga block so that my children remember to say please, because if I have to say one more time, say please. I'm just joking. It's just, I say it a lot. But I think it's important to remind them to say please. So I figured might as well put it in the tier tray. Let's make this educational. So now I'm going to put the plates to stand on this little Jenga block. So to help me do that, I'm going to use the wood cubes that I love from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to hot glue them using the Gorilla Glue. So I take one of the cubes and I hot glue it to the back of the plate. And then I stack 2 of them on the Jenga block. But I paint the first cube because you can actually see it from the front of the tier tray. So I did paint the original one, and then I hot glue 2 more on top. So in total we have 3 cubes stacked and secure with tons of hot glue because I didn't put enough the first time. Now we're going to do the other plate. Now for this other plate, I'm going to put it kind of like in front of that first plate. And I'm also going to hot glue the little spoon on there. So it's kind of like time to eat. It's going to say time to eat with the little spoon there. And I think it's super cute. I think this might be like one of my favorite ones on this video. I just think it's so cute because it's so little. I love little things. Well, little decor. Okay, I should have distressed that black spoon now that I think about it. You know what? No, it's okay. It looks good clean. Let me know. Would you have distressed it? Now our last DIY. If you're still here, you're amazing. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to use these wood craft cubes. The same ones that we used in this previous DIY. And we're going to use this L-shaped ruler. I think people call it square. I get confused because I want to say triangle. I'm pretty sure it's a square because it helps you make a square. So now I'm going to hot glue all of these little cubes together, and I'm going to make a square of 25 cubes. Now keep in mind that these cubes are not equal in size. So you are, if you're OCD, you're going to have to pick through them and, you know, construct this before hot gluing it so that you know the position of your cubes. I don't care that much, so I just hot glued them together, and they were somewhat, you know, in a square formation. Now my tier tray has a lip at the bottom, so you won't see that little jagged edge at the bottom there. And I'm just going to cover this whole thing with a window cling, the one that says "Let's give thanks." So I painted the little square I just made, the 25 cube square. I distressed the edges with antique wax, and I painted it white on one side and gray on the other side. The gray is the castle color from folk art, and the white color is the same Adirondack white. So once I once I Mod Podged the first window cling on, I took another little window cling and I just cut it down to size, and I also Mod Podged that the same way. Now when you're Mod Podging, be sure to add enough but not too much, and brush the sides of your little frame sign. You want to make sure you get all the Mod Podge that drips off the sides as well, just so it looks nice and neat and everything is sealed. Now I didn't have to do this, but I figured why not, since we're already, you know, making the sign. I flipped it over, and now I'm going to use some more words that are in the same color scheme, and I just thought it was funny, so I just put the word "Hello Fat Pants," because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be saying hello to my fat pants that day, and I love Thanksgiving. It's my favorite holiday of all time. I had to make this tier tray. I had to make it. I love Thanksgiving that much. Okay, so I did make another fall tier tray. I'll leave the iCard right here if you're interested in seeing the other tier tray that I made for fall. I do use it to decorate the entire tier tray. So some of the pieces I made in my last tier tray video, I use here at the end when I show you the video of the tier tray. Alright, so here I'm just Mod Podging on "Hello Fat Pants," and I'm not calling anyone fat pants. I'm just saying hello to my pants that some people call fat pants. Some people call it fat pants, but those are just my regular pants. My regular pants are fat pants, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, so the background of these little pictures were bothering me, so I went ahead and I went in with some of that castle paint, and I just went all around the pictures just to kind of hide those seams. And this is how it came out, and it's definitely rustic, but I like it. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Thank you so much for coming. clicking on my video, and I hope you do subscribe if you enjoyed yourself. And stay safe, be blessed, and until next time, friends. Bye!